So now we're going to take a look at some terminology that we use when talking about web pages. And elements versus tags, pretty much interchangeable. Technically speaking, an element would be like the head element, the body element, the title element. And then the tags are the actual tags, right? They have the brackets around them. And then there are opening and closing tags usually. So in the code that we already looked at, right, here's the opening tag. There's the closing UL tag. Here's the opening LI tag, the closing LI tag. And so that just says apply LI to everything in between those two. There are some self-closing tags. So meta is a self-closing tag. You don't ever see this, right? You don't ever see that. Meta, there's just one. And you put things in the middle of it. Meta, charset, UTF-8, self-closing. You don't need anything after it, right? You give it an attribute, that's it. Or attributes. How many people have heard of self-closing tags before? Cool. So then you have link, HR, BR, image, input, source, embed, param, WBR. And then we also talk about nesting tags. And so here we have LIs, and those are nested within ULs. What is the UL nested within? Body. What's the body nested within? Nope.
HTML.
HTML. What's HTML nested in? Nothing. That's the root. That's the root. And this is the DOM. And so DOM is a document object model. So, wow, that's interesting. DOM gave me days on market. Colon DOM. It used to give me that guy who's the actor. Fast and Furious. Who? Yeah, I think. I don't know. Does he go by Dom?
Yeah.
Does he? So here is the document object model. It's a model of the objects in the document, which is why we call it the document object model. So the root element is the HTML element. And then it has the head and the body elements nested within it as children. And we sometimes say this is the parent, these are the children, this is the ancestor, this is the descendant, right? And then, head has title in it, and then title has text in it. But that's the document object model. And parent, child, ancestor, descendant, those are two ways of saying the same thing, right? What's nested within what? And then siblings, these are all siblings of each other.
Cousins?
Nope, siblings. Not cousins, just siblings. Brothers and sisters. But they're all at the same level as the idea in this hierarchy. So that's nesting tags, and that's also the DOM. And so I'm just going to copy this and put it over into our outline, what this video is about. So this is a HTML terminology, and that's what we just kind of learned. Is elements versus tags, opening and closing tags. There are the self-closing tags, and then we have nesting tags. This concept of nesting, and we use the terminology parent, child, ancestor, descendant, and siblings. And parent, child, and ancestor and descendant, those are also, another way you could say the same thing, okay? Parent and child, also known as ancestor, descendant. And then you learned about the root element, which is the HTML element in the document object model. So we learned about the DOM, document object model. And we learned about the root element, which is the HTML element. You know what I mean when I say that? And we have synonyms, web page, HTML document, HTML page document. Those are all synonyms. An element and tag, pretty much a synonym. Parent, ancestor, child, descendant, pretty much synonyms. Right? Parent, ancestor, it's the same. Child, descendant's the same. So it's just some terminology. Good?